Hi everyone, it's Bernard here on behalf of MovieGameNostalgia.com. Hope everybody's well. It's Tuesday, it's put my hood straight, look nice on the picture. Still got a bit of the sniffle, so forgive me if I have to blow my nose occasionally, but I'll keep it to the minimum. You don't want to see that horrible side here, even though it's October, Halloween month. We don't want to give you nightmares if you're watching this late at night. Right, this is episode 10 now of movies and their posters from the 90s and the 2000s when I had my little video shop in Manchester. So obviously we've been doing 10 a week. So obviously you'll see number 100 today. So that's about approximately 10% of my total posters. Obviously I've got about 5,000 or 6,000 posters. Obviously I've got multiple copies of some. I add to that, and obviously I sell stuff, and obviously there's some of these where it's my last one, so once I've sold it, it'll be very hard to replace because they are very rare posters. They are very, you just can't go out and buy these things these days. So we always have about 1,000 posters on the site, give or take, obviously up and down all the time. So we'll be about 10% of the way through, so that's not too bad, is it? Right. Some great ones today, some interesting. But it's nice when I pick it. I say I get to a pile. I'm on to the letter B's today. When I did some A's last week, we've ended up on the letter B this week. Just pure coincidence. So shall we get on with it? Right, so here we go. Right, the first one stars Joe Torry and Brian Bosworth. It's what you call a B movie, obviously. In the old days, obviously, it's a straight to DVD sort of title these days. Made in 1997. My posters go from 1997 to 2005. And as I say, even though it's obviously a B movie, it didn't rate too highly, 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb. I mean, some people like Brian Bosworth or Joe Torry, they might have reason. They may have even done bits in the film, stuff like that. So not the greatest film about dirty cops and drug gangs, etc., etc. To try and help it, in Germany, they actually called this Stone Cold 2, which obviously Stone Cold was Bosworth's debut movie in 1991, which did quite well. So even though it was absolutely nothing to do with Stone Cold, in Germany to try and promote it, they called it Stone Cold 2. I don't think they did great with it. I don't think it. I have no box office figures, but I don't think it was too fantastic. Good. It's an 18, just wanton violence, really, like a good action film, but as I said, if you like Brian Bosworth, I mean, that's I've got a couple of these left now. Yeah, that's just a good old-fashioned poster from the time, really. 1997. It would have been videos then, it wouldn't have been DVDs. So that's the first. After a bit of a lackluster start, aren't we, for this episode? But that's back in business. Brian Bosworth. I wouldn't rush to go and find that if you've not seen it, to go and watch it again. Right, on to a little bit of a bigger one now. I've got 4 copies of this. It's a little bit of on the edges. As I say, some of these have been stored for 20 odd years, so they do get a bit, moved about and battered a little bit. But they're all in good. I wouldn't sell them unless they were in good, acceptable condition. Right, and let's have a look at this one. Here we go. Bad Boys 2. Obviously, we had a new Will Smith film this week, didn't we? With Gemini Man. Obviously, the wonderful Martin Lawrence as well. I did have copies of the original Bad Boys, but they've all gone, unfortunately, now. So I'm left with this. There's a little mark in the corner there. I've got 4 of these. They're probably all similar to things, but saying nothing. It's just a really nice poster if you like them 2 guys, isn't it? $130 million budget. Clawed back 270 odd million at the box office. 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb. So it's a good watch now if you've not even watched it now, which I'm sure you have, but it's a good watch to go back and watch these 2 in action again. It's always a good comedy, of its time. It was one of, obviously there's a lot of them now, isn't there? But this was great for its time. It was actually filmed on Cape Florida State Park, if you know America. I'm not overly familiar myself. And obviously on the other side of the park at the same time, they were filming Fast and Furious 2, or Fast 2 Furious, which the second in the franchise. So that was going on at the same time. That's a great poster, isn't it? I mean, that's nice. That if you like Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, obviously Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer production, 2003. So that is basically just DVD. I don't think the videos had sort of more or less going there. So I think that was just out on DVD. I might be wrong, but I think so. On to the next one. We're talking about Bad. So Bad's coming up a lot. Another couple of great actors in this one. Hopkins and Rock, two mismatched partners, one messed up case. Yeah, this was 2002. It's only getting a 5.6 out of 10 rating on IMDb, which is a bit Internet Movie Database, which is a bit mean because I enjoyed this. Bad Company. It's about CIA. It's a CIA film, basically, so there's plenty of action in it. There's actually, some of the scenes in this were set in the World Trade Center subways, and it's one of the last films to be just to obviously feature the World Trade Center before the sad demise of those of the Twin Towers, etc., etc. There's the shocking thing that happened there. So this is one of the last films to be filmed before that happened. But it's a good film. We've not watched it. It's one that you may have missed. It does fly under the radar, this one. But Anthony Hopkins, Chris Rock. I mean, Chris Rock, one of his more serious roles, if you like, but you can't help but enjoy it as well because it's Chris Rock. So he makes me laugh even when he's being serious. 2002, that one. So this is a nice film. How many of those have we got? Bad Company, got 4 of those. And we're staying with the bad theme. And this, obviously, I think there's a new one of these coming out. Bad Santa. Yeah, you got the uncut version, Too Rude for Cinema. So on DVD, you were given even extra on there. 2003, 23 million budget, 77 million. It clawed back at the cinema. The wonderful Billy Bob Thornton. And he admitted to being most of the scenes he shot. He was inebriated. He was drunk. So that's allegedly, but I think he's admitted that anyway. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong by saying that. Got a couple of these, but that's one. I mean, if you like Christmas, that's one of my favourite Christmas posters. Obviously, we're in the month of October. No doubt all the decorations will be going up soon in the shops, etc., etc. But that's a great poster. I mean, and there's marking on the corners, but that's just the poster as it is. It's nothing to do with wear and tear. It's in great condition. That's Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton. And now we go to the Rotten Tomato #1 worst film of all time. Doesn't mean the poster's bad, does it? Just because it's the worst film of all time. Some of these posters are great. And if you like Antonio Banderas, or you like, of course, the lovely Lucy Liu, can't go far wrong with this one. Ballistic, Ecks versus Sever. Rent or buy on DVD and video from 4th of August 2003. So there you are, we got both options there, 2003. Fantastic poster. I mean, the film, well, I think if you've seen it, you probably know what they're talking about. 3.7 rating out of 10 on IMDb. 3.7 is not bad. Actually, it's not the worst I've seen. But FBI and DIA agents at it. So, as I say, Rotten Tomatoes is... I don't know if they've updated that. It was at the time voted the #1 worst film ever. Not just for the year, not just for the decade, but ever. So a bit of history there, even in that, isn't there? I've got 3 of those, 2002. But I don't care about the film. Just an absolutely brilliant poster. So if you like Anton, and again, if the 4th of August is any significance to you, it's more important. So if you like any of those 2 actors and you were born on that date, or you got married, or you both like it, great. It's a great thing to buy and put on the wall. And now the next one, which is probably my favourite poster of the day today, actually. Again, not a film that's scored too highly on IMDb, only rated, again, like that one, like Ballistic and Sever, he only rated 3.7 out of 10. It's an absolute insult, to be honest with you. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant poster. I mean, I love the film. I'm sorry. It probably didn't rate highly because it was for the... But hey, I mean that was 1997, so we're talking videos, aren't we? Schwarzenegger, Clooney, Donnell, Thurman, Alicia Silverstone. Yeah, the film wasn't great, but I enjoyed the film. I'm a Batman fan anyway, so I don't care what dross they put out. But it is a good film. I don't 3.7 out of 10. You're taking the mick, really. I just enjoyed that. And some people, you don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, doesn't matter about the film. Look at that poster. Absolutely superb. But that's my favourite of the day. I do have 5 of these, all good condition. Alicia Silverstone got a bit of stick. She's only young at the time. And they actually had to cut some scenes. They had to, rather than change the suit she wore, they cut scenes because she had a few weight problems, but she was only a young girl, and she got a lot of crap for it from the press, etc., which was totally unfair. Obviously, the director, Schumacher, came to her defence and sort of said, stop picking on her. But they did actually cut a lot of Alicia Silverstone's scenes out of this as Batgirl. So, and I've just recently watched the Batgirl episode 1 pilot episode for the TV series. So that's a coincidence, but as for that, yeah, I'll talk about that on another thing on my blogs on moviegamenostalgia.com. Have a look at what I think of Batgirl episode 1. But anyway, there's Alicia Silverstone, who's lovely anyway, isn't she? I mean, Uma Thurman. Hey, and those three guys. I mean, that is my favourite poster of the day. Whether the film is or not, you like the film, tough. And another film that caused a lot of controversy, and obviously got panned by the people who are obviously into this sort of thing. Going back to the year 2000, I have 3 copies of these. Only mentioned the video here. It must have been on DVD as well at the time. Yeah, out to rent and buy on DVD. Well, this was to rent first of all on video. And of course, caused lots and lots of trouble at the time. John Travolta, Battlefield Earth. Well, again, does it matter? John Travolta, science fiction. 2.5 out of 10. So, you know, he didn't even rate number 1 on Rotten Tomatoes, even though he got 2.5 out of 10 on IMDb. $73 million budget, clawed back 30 million. Batman and Robin, by the way, was 160 million budget and clawed back 239 million, so it did really well. Even though, well, it did well, obviously. At least it made money. But this is great. I mean, that's great, isn't it? I mean, John Travolta. Forrest Whitaker said he regretted being in this film, so that says a lot, doesn't it? But again, is it one of these that's turned into like a cult classic that people look back fondly on it now, almost 20 years later? But yeah, it was pretty dross. I remember watching it, but I'd probably watch it again just because it is dross, you know, and that's what happens with these sort of cult movies. They're not necessarily great films, but great poster. I've got 3 of those Battlefield Earth. This is the only one of this I've got. So if you're into these bats, it's not a Batman poster. This is Lou Diamond, Phillips, Dina, Meyer. Did exceptionally well at the box office, probably because of the subject matter. And I like the poster. If you've got a fear of bats, you won't like it. Lou Diamond, Phillips, Dina, Meyer. Also available on DVD video. That's from 1999. So there you go. That was so I started stocking DVDs in the late 90s, obviously, when they first came out. So it took 2 or 3 years probably to kick in before they took over, but started to take over. But there you go. Nice poster. That's the last one I've got of that one. About mutated bats. There's a scene in it where there's a movie theatre, and the Nosferatu from 1922, Vampire Bats, and there you go, was playing at the cinema in that film. Bit of trivia, but again, if you're into bats, that's my last one. That's nice. I like that. That's a bit of history. One you may have flown under the radar. I mean, it got 3.9 out of 10, but it wasn't a bad film. I think it wasn't as bad as 3.9 out of 10. They're far too critical, some of these people. I'd probably watch it again just for the laugh. And the next one again, Mr. John Travolta. There we go. We've got this. Did slightly better this one than his other one. Not fantastic. It's actually got the video shop on the back, Video World Denton, Manchester. But obviously on the background, does sort of show through a little bit, unfortunately. If you put it against a white background, it is there, but. I've got 3 of these, so the other 2 don't have that on. So I'd only send you the first couple anyway. There's a slight crease, so it's not in the greatest condition, in an okay condition, these, but it's a shame. As I said, you won't get the one with the writing on. I'd send you one with the without the writing, but the other 2 aren't. You know, they got a little folds on them, etc. But I wanted to show it anyway. I nearly didn't show it yet, but because it's John Travolta, Uma Thurman again. Again, we had Uma Thurman early, didn't we? I wanted to show you that from the 12th of September. Be cool. That's 2005. 5.6 out of 10. Obviously set around Hollywood at the time. Obviously, Travolta and Thurman actually do the dance in this as a sort of homage to Pulp Fiction, the Pulp Fiction dance. So that's a good film. We've not seen it. Coolest film of the year, news of the world. A bit over the top, perhaps, but. Yeah, it was not a bad film. I mean, it's worth a watch. But again, it's one most of you may have missed. But I've definitely got one in very good condition poster without any writing on it, etc. So If you did fancy that, just get on the site and I'll send you a decent one, and then I might take the other two off anyway now and just keep them for myself on that one. But it's nice to remember the film actually, so that's why I've shown you that one. And the last one today, the number 100 poster that I've shown you over the last few weeks. We go to the wonderful Rowan Atkinson. So, and again, one of these sleeper hits that obviously, even before it hit America, it made $100 million. Only cost, what did it cost? It cost $18 million to make. Even before it hit America, it made $100 million in various countries. And we've got, of course, Mr. Bean. I mean, he's the ultimate disaster movie. Rowan Atkinson, isn't it? The old from Hollywood. It's quite funny. Being the album, including songs from Boyzone, Wet, 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 Alicia's Attic, Gabrielle, and many more. So even the soundtrack's a cracker. $18 million to make. Eventually, it recoups over $250 million back at the cinema box office before it went on DVD video. 1997, so it would have been on video and obviously reproduced on DVD later on. Was the most watched film in Finland in 1997 when it came out. So that's why it probably made so much before it hit America, because obviously the lack of language, talking in the thing with Mr. Bean. Obviously, there is language in it, there is talking, obviously, but it's just the comedy equates for most people who, you don't even need to speak the language, do you? So that's probably why I did really well. But that's to finish off number 100 posters I've shown you over the last few weeks. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. I think that's pretty good, don't you? I think that's a good way to start. Well, that's it today. I've got through without coughing and spluttering. Hope you enjoyed that. There's a few there. Would I watch again? Back in Business? Probably not. Bad Boys 2, definitely. Bad Company, yes. Bad Santa, definitely. It might become, one of probably my Christmas films now. On the dark side of Christmas. Ballistic. I'll probably watch again just to remind myself how bad it was. Batman and Robin, of course, I'd watch that again. Battlefield Earth, again, I'd probably watch just for the fun factor and have a laugh. I'd just laugh at Forrest Whitaker, probably, see, you slagged the film off, mate, but I'm sure you took the paycheck. Bats, yeah, I'd watch Bats again if I had to watch Bats again. That cost 5 million bats. Actually, I don't know if I mentioned it, and it clawed back 30 million worldwide, $30 million out of 5 million budget. So it did all right, didn't it? So it did okay, and it did better outside of the America actually. So obviously bats travel, don't they? Be Cool. Yeah, of course I'd watch that again. Good film. John Travolta, Thurman. What more can you say? And of course Bean. I mean, that's just something you'd flick through the channels on Mr. Bean, and you'd go, you'd probably end up watching it again just for what it is. So yeah, I enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow with the movie quiz. Movie quiz number 4 tomorrow. 15 questions, 26 points, I think, up for grabs. So that'll be back tomorrow, and obviously back next week with all the normal stuff. Push the old subscribe button if you can. That'd be great. Push the bell notifications so you know when these videos come out. I normally do 5 a week. Obviously, Monday will be the UK DVD Blu-ray releases. Tuesday I do board games. Wednesday I do the cinema releases. Today obviously I do the Thursdays I do the posters, and tomorrow is a bit of a wild card, but obviously tomorrow is the movie quiz, and next Friday it'll be the second part of the top rated horrors over the decades. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. Follow me on Twitter at nostalgia_movie. I'm on Facebook under Bernard Deneen with links to movieGameNostalgia.com for DVDs, board games, posters. All these posters are on there. Obviously, I'll put a little link at the bottom to the pages as well for each of the posters if you like any of them. And as I said, that Be Cool. I'm showing 2 available. I'll probably knock it down to 1. I have 1 fine copy that I'll send out, and the other 2 I'll probably keep for in my own little memory thing here, and just keep it or sell them at a very reduced price and make a note of the problems with them. Obviously, some people don't mind paying a little bit cheaper and don't have a couple of little flaws in a poster. They'll still buy them. It's that's how it is. Not everyone wants them in pristine condition. They're willing to pick up bargains. I do the same with like football programs and things. I buy a lot of those, and if something's torn or there's a voucher missing, I'll still buy it. It's part of what they are. So I go, I'm not fussy. As you can see, well, you probably guessed that over the weeks. Anyway, whatever you do, today have a great one. The sun's out at the moment. I'm staying on top of my cold. Hope you don't get any colds and coughs, etc., etc. and I'll be back tomorrow with that fun quiz. So please, tell your friends, enjoy it. A lot of people like the quizzes, so I enjoy doing them as well. And I'll tell you what my score is, and you can see if you can beat it. Because believe me, I can. I'll give you what a score I would have got if I looked at the thing without checking the answers. So that'll give you a good guide. Because of everything I know about films, I've forgotten. If it was 100%, I probably know about 1% about films, and I've forgot 99%. My memory's not the great. It wasn't the greatest as a kid anyway, and now I'm getting older. It's not that great. Anyway, whatever you do the rest of the day, have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your friends, and especially take care of your family. And I'll see you all again tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.